In today's video, we are going to learn how to find a journal paper on PubMed, and then we are going to learn how to cite that paper in your biology class. So what is PubMed? PubMed is basically a database that has the citations of millions. I think they're at 34 million different scientific journal articles now. And mostly this is covering the medicine and life sciences and biology. And it's free, and it's actually a really great resource to find peer-reviewed research. So let's go take a look at PubMed. Before we get over to PubMed, I just wanted to introduce you to the National Library of Medicine. It may be something that you'll use in the future, depending on what types of biology courses you might take. This particular database is the NCBI, which is the National Center for Biotechnology Information. And this is a huge collection of databases and software and all sorts of tools. You can see over here on the left, we've got a bunch of genetics type databases and tools. You can search genomes, you can download software to analyze those genomes and so on. Over here on the right, this is what we're looking for today, which is PubMed. Notice not PubMed Central, but I'm going to click on PubMed, and this is the database that we're interested in today. So as I mentioned, PubMed is a massive database of journal citations where you can find information on all sorts of peer-reviewed journal articles, mostly in the medicine and life sciences and biology areas. But it is a massive, massive database, and it's free, so it's a great resource. So what you can do when you're looking for your article is click on the search bar here, and you can type in whatever it is that you like. You could type in the name of an organism, the name of a cellular structure, the name of an organ, the name of an author who wrote the article you're looking for. The possibilities are really endless. So what you want to do is put in some specific search terms that are going to help you find an appropriate article. So for Biology 107 and Lab 3, you're going to be looking for an article that is on membranes, and specifically beetroot membranes. So what you can do is start typing in those particular words to help you find an article. So membrane, we can type in beet. I'm not going to type in beet. You're going to have to find your own article. I'll try a different vegetable. Let us try, I don't know, cucumber, how about? And one last search criteria is that you are going to be looking at temperature and solvent tests on those membranes. So you could type in temperature if you like as well, or solvent, or both, and anyway, see what you come up with. So let's search that and see what we come up with. Here's our search. We end up with 91 results. So that's not too bad. You may end up with a lot more. You may end up with a lot less. It just really depends on what search criteria that you put in there. So if you take a look, 91 results, it's giving me the citation information for these journal articles. I can scroll down. You can see there's the first few. I can keep going, and it's going to go and go. And there's a few pages, of course, because there's 91 results. One thing that you may wish to do at this point is go over here to the left. And if you take a look at these boxes here, you probably want to click on free full text. I'm assuming that you do not have an actual subscription to most of these scientific journals, so you may wish to get access to the free ones rather than having to pay for one. So I clicked on the free one. Notice we went down from 91 to 31 results. And now you can see there's a whole bunch of different articles listed here. Some of the same ones, but these are all just the free ones. So let's take a look at one of these articles here. So this one here, nitrate increased cucumber tolerance to fusarium wilt by regulating fungal toxin production and distribution. Doesn't quite sound what I'm looking for. I'm just going to take another look and see if there's anything that's a little more specific to what we're looking at. So maybe this one here, actually, cellular expansion at low temperature as a cause of membrane lesions. So that's actually looks like a good one. I'm just going to keep looking at these articles here for a moment. And anyway, why don't we pick one? I'll just pick this last one here. Effect of downy mildew development on transpiration of cucumber leaves visualized by digital infrared thermography. So that's the title. You can see the second line here is the authors, so it's listed by a last name and initial. The next is the name of the journal, so phytopathology. This is the year, so it was published in 2005. Sometimes they give you a month. The month doesn't matter. We care about this number here. That's the volume number and the page numbers. And the last thing we're interested in is this last part here, this DOI, which is the digital object identifier. So you're probably wondering what that is, and you can look that one up on the internet if you like, but I'll just show you quickly. This is the Wikipedia page for it. And this is a system for basically indexing different type of journal articles, because now we live in the age of the internet, and this is something that we do. We give things an identifier so that we can find them again at a future date. Just in case the websites change, the digital object identifier won't change. So another thing I'll just point out is you can click on Cite, and this actually gives you the citation information again in an easy copy and paste kind of way. It does not give the correct formatting that you're going to need for your biology class, but it at least is a good start for something to copy and paste on. So let's just click on this article here and see what it brings us. So in PubMed now, they give you a bit more information on the article. You still have the citation information, and if you go down, it also gives you the abstract. So the abstract is always worth it to take a look at to see if it is actually relevant to what you're looking at, or it's basically a summary. It gives you a summary of the article, so you can read the summary, and if you're still interested in the article at this point, you can go download it and read the actual article. So to download the article in PubMed, you can go over here to the right, and usually there's a link or two, and you can see it says here, free full text article. So I'm going to click on that, and we will go check out the article. So here's the publisher's website and the actual article. Usually when you scroll down, you'll see the entire article, but I've noticed for this one, it's only giving me the citation information in the abstract. But the good news is I can actually find the full article right here by clicking on PDF. Not sure what PDF Plus is. It probably has some additional information, but I don't need that one here today. We're just going to click on PDF, and now you can see it's loading up, and we're getting the whole article. So here's what the article would look like when it's published. A lot of these are printed and sold in volumes, and they might be found on the shelf in the library. We're just using the digital version, which is fine. You can see there's the article. It has images, discussion, references, everything that you need in a journal article. So this is what you need. What you need to do is actually download this particular article, and you're going to submit it with your report. And usually there's a link up here somewhere at the top. And let me see here, save for offline reading. I'm probably going to have to click that. And that looks like it's going to save that article to my computer. Sometimes usually there's a little link somewhere at the top that can help you download your journal article. And there you go. So now you have your journal article. I'm going to now show you how we can reference your journal article and cite it in your lab report. So let's talk about citations in Biology 107. So here's another scientific paper found in PubMed. This is actually a publication that I did a number of years ago. We're going to use it as an example. This is basically a screenshot from the PubMed search. You can see we have all the information there for the citation. So there's the title. There are the authors. There's two authors, myself and Anthony Clark. We have the journal name. That's the Journal of Bacteriology. If you, in this class, you can use the abbreviation or the full form. It doesn't matter to me. There's the year. There's the volume number, the page numbers, and the digital object identifier. So it has all the information right there, right when you find it in your initial search found on PubMed. If you can't find all the information there, you can look on the actual paper. Here's the PDF of the paper, at least the top part of the page. Again, all the information is here. Sometimes it's in a different format. So there's the journal name. You can see this time it gives the full journal name. There's the year again, the page numbers, the digital object identifier is found there as well, and of course the volume number. So notice there's a lot of information I don't care about. I don't care that it's published by the American Society for Microbiology. I don't care about the number, the issue number that's found after the volume. I do, of course, care about the title of the paper. And notice that the species name is in italics. That's standard format for species names. We also have the authors, of course, and down at the bottom is the abstract. So I also don't care about where it was published. Was it published in Canada or China or Germany? That does not matter. The department does not matter. So this is the crucial information you need for citing this and doing it properly. So let's take a look at the actual citation format that we're going to use for this class. So first of all, the question is, what is a citation? A lot of people don't exactly know what a citation is. A citation, as you can see the definition there, is basically a reference. You're referring to a work, so a scholarly article, or referring to your textbook, and you're doing this kind of basically within your essay or your lab report or whatever, and you're doing it along the way as you're doing your writing. So usually at the end of a sentence is where you would find a citation. So in Biology 107, your citation is going to look something like this. You're going to have a sentence, and at the end of the sentence, the citation is going to be in some brackets, and you're going to give the last names of the authors, comma, followed by the year, and then the sentence is ended by the period at the end. So for the example that we're looking at, it's going to look something like this. You might have a sentence that say, an experiment was done that found that Pseudomonas aeruginosa had a certain type of peptidoglycan, let's say. So there's your sentence, and at the end of the sentence, you'd have the two authors' names. So in this case, it's Legare and Clark, comma, 2008, in bracket, period. So one thing to note is that we're going to do this a little bit differently depending on how many authors we actually have. So here's the general format. One author, you're going to use the last name, comma, year. So hopefully that's really easy. There's an example. So Smith, comma, 2022. If you have two authors, just like what I showed you, you use both last names. So the first author's last name and followed by the word and then the second author's last name, comma, followed by the year. So here's an example, Campbell and Lee, comma, 2021. If you have three or more authors, you're going to use this special little term, et al. So notice et al is followed by a period, and then we follow that by a comma with the year. And so what is et al, you're probably wondering? It is actually a Latin term, et ali, and what it means is and others. So it's kind of almost like saying etc. or something like that, but this is the term that's used for typical citations. So notice it's an abbreviation, so don't forget the period at the end. So here's an example, Jones et al, period, comma, 2019. So that's your citation. So each of your citations is going to look something like this. If you want more examples for citations, do take a look in your lab manual. In Biology 107, that's in Appendix A, and there are lots more examples there. So citing is basically referring to that body of work somewhere in your paper. But you haven't fully referenced it now. So this brings us to the end of your paper where you're going to have your reference list, which we often call literature cited. Basically, it means these are the things that we cited, and here's a list of them. And this is what the format is going to look like for journal articles. So you can see that basically what you do is have a list of the author names. So the author last names followed by their initials, and in list form, followed by the year, title of the journal article, followed by the journal name, the volume number in bold, then the pages, then the digital object identifier. So I'll show you what this looks like for the article we've been discussing. So you can see there's the two authors, the year, the title of the article. Notice the title of the article, we're using sentence form, meaning that you have a capital at the beginning and nothing else is capitalized unless it's a proper noun. So Pseudomonas aeruginosa is in italics because it's a species name, don't forget that. And the genus is a capital letter because genuses are always capital letters. As I mentioned, notice the volume is in bold. This is what this particular format is like. And the digital object identifier is denoted by DOI, colon, and it's underlined. And in many cases, if this was a digital copy of your report, that would be hyperlinked. So I'd be able to click on that and it would bring me right to the paper. So just a note, all of the details here are important. Every piece of punctuation, every period, comma, those kind of things, I will be looking to see that you've done that correctly in the formatting. So do make sure you do it properly. Any questions, always ask. You can always check out the appendix in your lab manual in Biology 107, that's in Appendix A, and there are more examples and more instructions there. I hope you found this video useful. I'll see you in class.